Welcome back, everybody, to Revelations from a Baby Boomer. This is going to be our last clip for today. We are actually heading toward the conclusion of my interrogation of Miss Millie. She's a very interesting woman. I've learned a lot from her, and I hope you have as well. I hope you've learned a lot from her example. Now, today, we are also going to cover this. Now, we have here some books, Miss Millie, of people you have inspired throughout time. And these are particularly writers who were a part of a group that you started in California. And what was the name of that group, Miss Millie?
It's New Writers in Action.
Okay.
It was all. I guess it was. This one was mentoring new writers. That's what I called it in California, mentoring new writers.
Right. And now we call it New Writers in Action. Beautiful name. Now, what's this book, Miss Millie?
This is a book. Actually, this young man I met, Jerry. I met him. Actually, when I was getting ready, I guess, to leave, or no, I went back to California to visit. They had a book signing for one of the others, and I met Jerry. And Jerry had already written his book. He just wanted me to read it and give him my input because he was very good friends with some of the other authors that was in the New Writers group. And I read it, and this was before it was published. And I have to be honest, I did not want Jerry to use that title.
Okay.
And after it got published and he sent me, this is a signed copy, you'll see he sent me a copy, I read it. I rather liked it. I understand why he wanted to keep the humor and the way he wrote it. And it's awesome. It's called
A Sack Half Full, From Humility to Humor. One Family's Journey Through Testicular Cancer.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
deep.
it's deep. It's deep, and I encourage you to go out and find that book. I'm sure it's on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
And it was published by
eLive.
eLive.
eLive
Yeah.
Publishing. Well, actually, it's Tate Publishing.
Oh, it's Tate Publishing?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Tate Publishing. Okay.
Yeah, most of my authors that were in California went through Tate, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we have another book here we'd like to review very briefly. And this one is called Crossing the Tracks by Albert E. Young Jr.
Yes, Albert and I go way back. I've been friends with Albert for over 30 years. He's like a brother to me, and he was one of the first in the group in California. And this was all paperback, and he heard about, we had lost contact with each other for a minute, and when he found me, he had this manuscript, and he said, I want you to read it. I sat down and I read it, and he started coming to the classes and finishing up, and there it is. It's beautiful.
It is.
Crossing the Tracks.
Crossing the Tracks.
By Albert Young Jr.
I really enjoyed
Show him
this
that.
cover here.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
And he was also published by Tate Publishing.
Very nice. And we have this one called Whosoever.
This is absolutely awesome. This young man's wife and I were good friends. We became friends because she was an agent for the United States Post Office. So I would go there and ship out my books and everything. So finally she mentioned him. She said, my husband is keeping a journal. Remember we was talking about keeping a journal.
Yes.
He writes these things for her son. And it was like to inspire, encourage the son to stay Christ-like, you know. And so he met with me, and I'm telling you, all he had was all these, years of journals and papers. And I brought him in for almost a year and a half, and we mentored like we're doing. That's just exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
And 2 years later, he comes out with this beautiful book. And I worked on his title with him too. It is absolutely awesome, Whosoever. It's beautiful, it's blue, and it's by David Encina.
David Encina, very nice.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody who's watching this video will know more about that, and I'm sure each of these authors will really appreciate the fact that you are showcasing them to the world right now.
And it's not so much a showcase, it's remembering them. It's talking about people that are dear to my heart. We really became a family. They are just wonderful writers, and I'm just so pleased to be a part of their lives.
Yeah.
And
And to
then-
know that you've been doing this for such a long time, too.
Yes, and I came all the way from there and decided that it was such a success in California, why don't I do it in Maryland?
And what a blessing it is you did come here to
And
Maryland and do it.
We came into Maryland, and I started New Writers in Action.
That's right.
And as you know, I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because Monday and Friday, my husband is home, and I spend that time with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That special time with my honey.
And I really appreciate Dr. Morris for giving me an opportunity to spend time with you as well.
Oh, my work is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. What's the date? Thursday.
That's right. That's right.
So now we are going to. I guess you got more to ask. Okay, he's got more to ask, Miss
I
Miller.
do, yes. Now, we have another book here, and this is done by an author who actually lives here in Maryland.
Oh, you want to talk about my New Writers in Action first group here in Maryland? Okay, the book that you're holding is by Reggie Bishop, and Reggie's book is entitled
The Bishop Bond.
The Bishop Bond, and his book is a lot like Secrets Uncovered. He went through his family history. It is a family history book. He did tons and tons of research, and I had a chance to meet him at one of his lectures when he was talking about his research. And I told him, I said, you know what, you got it. And it's funny because he was at Barnes and Nobles, and I'm like, where's the book? I want to buy the book. He said, I don't have a book. And that's when I invited him to my class.
Okay. Very
And he
nice.
came to the class, and then 2 years later, and it was really amazing because he was like, I don't know, the first thing about writing a book.
Oh, I remember
And,
that.
yeah,
Reggie
and
was very. Reggie did not identify himself as a writer. Reggie said he was a researcher. That he was not a writer. And I've spent time with Reggie, and I told him, you know, I believe deep down inside you could pull out something really amazing, and it'll change how you think about this and your work. And you are a writer. You are working on it right now, and sure enough.
There it is, and he got published, and absolutely, you were in that class, and that's why last year, the end of last year, we had our talk, you and I, and I said to you, it's time for you to get that book out.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Procrastinating and such good work just shouldn't
Yeah.
be sitting in a computer. And so I was so glad that I was hard enough on you to get you to make that step forward.
Right.
And that's what we're doing now, exactly what we did with Reggie. But yours has already started because you did do work. You worked from 2008 to now. It should have been published, but it's not. But this year it will be published. The title of your book?
Symphony of the Heart.
And it will be there. I'm hoping it doesn't change because you know how what happens is once you finish a book, you read it and you go, you know what, I'm going to switch the title. So that's not
Yeah.
a set in stone title. That's the title he's been telling me since 2008.
Right.
But we'll see when it happens because when it happens, we're going to be holding it up just like this because I have faith in Jason that he's going to finish what he started.
Thank you. Thank you.
In that group, if you don't mind me taking over to get you through the New Writers in Action group, in that group we also had Hattie Knight. Hattie came out with her book called Against
company policy.
Against Company Policy, and it is a published work now. And also we have just being published, and we will be. We did have a clip of her on YouTube. Davida Carpenter. She's having her opening. Is it this week?
It's
26th, the 26th.
I think it is.
The 26th
Yeah.
of this month, I will be speaking at her opening, and I'm so happy. It's so joyful. We are so excited. And so we probably should get that before. We should probably do another clip so we can tell everybody about her, because I don't know exactly offhand where it is,
Right.
other than it's in Harford County.
Okay.
It's here, but she is
So-
going to be doing her. Hey, you know what? We could put on this clip, on the bottom of this clip, we could put the address and time. Well, we're going to
Yeah,
be
that's even
doing a book signing with Davida with her book, Woman to Woman. An awesome book.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I had myself a time with that author. Woo, I said, I've never seen anybody write so much, and she's a good writer, and erase it and start over. I'm like, you're never going to get this book done. But you know what? That book is done now.
That's right.
It is a beautiful book, and we're going to have her opening the 26th of this month, and you'll find the address if you'd like to join us and meet Miss Millie. If you live here in Harford County, we'll see you bright and on time at 1:30. I believe it is, 1:30 p.m. We will be there.
I'm very excited for it. I'm so proud of Davita. She is an awesome person. She's also a public speaker, and I'm really excited for this book. And I'm excited for all these books that came out. Reggie, Hattie, Davita. I'm so proud of everybody.
Now, those are the three that came out of New Writers in Action from the 2008 class. Now, we have Patrice Brown, who is one of our fantastic lady, who is a principal of one of our middle schools here in Harford County. She started in that class writing a book that's really dear to her heart. It's called Shake the Box. Hopefully that book is going to come out either next year or the year after, because she's very, very busy. She's running a big school. But she did take time and put a clipping of that work in Survive and Thrive book, the book that we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wounded Survive.
Wounded, Survive, and Thrive. Yes, she did. She put a clipping in. Oh, there it is. She put a clip of her book, and she's in one of the chapters there. And so she is a very good writer, and she'll be at the event saluting and giving a lot of love to Davita. And that's what I love about this group, Jason, is that you guys just touch my heart the way you stick together and you support one another.
Yeah.
We'll all be there for Davita. We were all there for Hattie. We were all there for Reggie. And I was there for David. And even all the way in California, I flew back there to be with David. And I was there for
Albert.
Albert.
Yeah.
And so
Albert,
many of them,
Jerry.
Miss Millie can't call the names. But
That's
Albert,
okay.
we I just love it. I love the feel that we get from this work when one of us are ready to let go. We are right there for each other.
Yeah, and that's the spirit of what we do.
Spirit of what we do.
It's what drives us. And I'll say I really believe in the power of coming together to accomplish a greater goal. And what is that goal? Well, one of my goals is being the best person I can be and showing other people how they can do that too. And there's just so much good that we can do. We just have to be open enough. We have to be honest with ourselves and the world around us. And I look forward to what we can do together.
I do too. And remembering, giving is receiving.
That's right.